Train the muscles, not the joints. So welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding. And for those of you that have been waiting for the 2-day split training program, it is on my website right now. I just put it up today. And today is the Friday Q&A, so I'm gonna answer some questions that you guys just gave to me, late, of course. Some of you gave me some late questions, that's why I'm making my video late, okay? So any of you guys out there that are wondering why my video is late, you have to put the questions in by Tuesday or Wednesday. That makes it a lot easier for me to actually make the video ahead of time. So you guys that were late, this is your fault. This is your fault. Yeah, let's start with the first question for Friday's Q&A. So Tejas Kulkarni is asking if he can do 2 sets of 10 reps of squats 6 days a week. And he's on a caloric surplus and he's sleeping 10 hours and people in the gym are telling him he can't do this. Now, you know, honestly, is this the best way to train? Probably not. I don't think it is the best way to train, just doing the same thing over and over again 6 days a week. Like, I don't know why you want to do that, but if you do, you know, go nuts, right? But the thing is that if you're doing 10 reps, what's going to dictate whether you recover or not is going to be, are you doing the 10 reps to failure? Are you doing the sets to failure? Because a 10 rep set that's to failure in squats is a lot harder on you than 10 reps that you just easily, you know, do. Like, say I can do 10 reps at 400 pounds, but then I just do 10 reps with 200 pounds. Obviously, I can recover from that much more easily, okay? So this is something to take into consideration when you're designing your training program. The other thing is that ultimately, doing something every single day may cause an adaptation, but you will have to lower the intensity if you're going to do so, all right? And listen to your body. So if you're new to training and you don't know the difference between joint pain or muscle pain, I wouldn't really recommend training like this, just because if you are overtraining, you won't even know the signs. Sometimes your knees might be swollen up and maybe you got some hip problems or some different things going on in your lower back, and you might ignore it and then just train through it and then tweak something, right? But if you are one of those people that is aware and you're careful and you vary the reps depending on how you are feeling, then I would say this type of training program would be fine. But just doing straight sets of 10 reps every day, twice a day, and going to failure on this, that will overtrain you really quickly. I honestly believe that, especially 10 reps with lower back, okay? Because squat uses a lot of lower back, same with deadlifts and stuff, and the back does have a tendency to not recover quite as fast as the rest of the body. Now, if you're an advanced person and you've worked up to this type of frequency, I would say, okay, maybe this can work, right? But ultimately, you always want to err on the side of caution and be careful, you know? So if something starts to hurt your joints, if you start to get really inflamed up and you're not feeling good when you go in the gym, then that's a sure sign that something needs to change, whether it's rep range, whether it's the type of exercise, the range of motion, or the frequency, right? So just pay attention to those variables. You can try this as an experiment. So I'm not saying not to do it, but know that sometimes it is good to adjust as you go and see how your body's responding, right? Because this training thing is more about a conversation. It isn't about just a straight program and then follow it no matter what, right? I mean, if I told you to walk down the street and say, follow that road no matter what, but yet the road goes over a bridge and the bridge is washed out, that would be a nightmare, right? You have to make allowances for different things that may happen along the way. And it's the same thing with this type of training program. If you train 6 days a week, doing squats every day, you know, 2 sets to 10 reps, and then one day you feel, oh, my back feels a little tweaky today. That would be a good day to take a day off, or a good day to go a little bit higher reps, or a good day to avoid squats altogether and do something else for legs, right? So I hope that helps you out a little bit with this, and good luck with your training. So Sidahmed Lazreg, people are coming to him for training programs and stuff all the time in the gym. And he's saying that a lot of the kids that are coming to him for training programs are basically getting stuck in the whole supplement paradigm, having to buy protein powder or all this kind of stuff. And he's saying it's very expensive. They're better off just eating better and just following a proper training program. That's really the advice from everybody. Everybody in training always says, eat right, train right. Supplements are just that. They are a supplement. They are something extra on top of what you're already eating, but they will not replace a bad diet. They will not replace a bad lifestyle choice, and they will not replace a bad training program, okay? So you're right. I mean, supplements can help. Like, I know, like, years ago when I used creatine, that it helped me break through some plateaus, because creatine is like, you know, it's already found in your chicken and fish and your red meat. But the fact is that having such a condensed amount of energy for muscles really helped me creatine up, or carb up, you could say, and basically keep more water in the muscle, so that way I could push through some plateaus. So there are some supplements that will help break through plateaus, but the supplements are always that. They're always something extra. They are not something to be taken instead of a good diet or instead of training, right? And I know I sound kind of like really conservative about this, but the fact is that I have noticed more results from a proper eating program than I have from any supplement, right? Your eating is the first and foremost thing, along with your training, okay? Those two things really go in tandem. But eating, even eating, I've seen guys with not as good of a training program, but if their eating is on point, then anything they do in training, their body seems to want to adapt to that. So definitely you want to make sure you're eating enough protein, enough essential fats, and enough carbs in order for your body to grow. So Stephanie Parson is asking me, when is it the right time to move up in weight, right? And so say she's doing dumbbell presses or curls or something like that with 30s or 35s, when's it time to move to the 40s? And there's no real right time. There isn't an exact right time on this. So ultimately, I vary reps in my training program. So if you watch my workout vlogs and stuff, you'll notice that I do sets of 15, sets of 20, then sometimes sets of 5, sometimes sets of 10. I vary all over the place. So what I'm saying is, sometimes at some point in your training, you'll know that you'll be able to get 8 or 10 reps with that weight, and it's time to try. It's time to try. Like say you're doing 35-pound dumbbells and that was your 8 rep type of set for the longest time, and then all of a sudden now you can do 10 or 12 reps and it's just not the same intensity. It's not giving you the 8 reps anymore. Then you can try a set or so, or one workout where you're doing 8 reps, or you're just working with the 40-pound dumbbells to get 8 reps. You know what I'm saying? You can actually just move up in weight. That's the way I've done it. I always like have, you know, this latitude, high reps and low reps, and I combine all of them. So there's not really a right time for each. It's just that at some point, in order to get to the 8 rep range for failure, I have to move up in weight because I've gained some strength, right? Just like when I'm getting 40 reps or 30 reps, at some point I have to move up in weight to keep in that rep range instead of, you know, just go on to do infinity reps, like 150 reps or something like that. Because I've noticed that reps of 50 and lower tend to be better for building muscle. Anything really above that, it's almost like you're getting so much more in endurance and stuff. You don't tend to build as much muscle from that. At least I don't, and I know most people don't. It's just a matter of hitting all the different muscle fibers though. That's really what you want to do. You want to hit as many different types of muscle fibers, and at some point you just outgrow the weight that you were using for your 6 to 8 rep sets, and you have to move up. That's it. It's just that now, in order to get failure at 6 to 8 reps, you just can't do it with the same weight because you've gained strength. So congratulations, that's when it's time to move up in weight, right? So Dima Medvedev is saying about Mike Mentzer, talking about the 1 set method. Is that enough, 1 set? And I did a video on this on HIIT training, and I'm always open to somebody getting results from something, because like I said, I've been surprised before. Sometimes there's different training programs, different genetics, different DNA, different people. They respond differently to different things. But one thing I found is that in most cases, 1 set is not enough in order to get a result, even if it is going to failure or absolute failure. And the people that I know that are usually really big advocates of this are not natural bodybuilders. I don't necessarily think that it is possible in most cases to get results from 1 set, right? Because like I talked about in the video, natural bodybuilders versus unnatural, natural bodybuilders are dependent on reminding the body that it needs to adapt, right? You don't have a bunch of hormones just floating around randomly in your body that are just, you know, looking for something to do, you know? So it's a just different paradigm, okay? So as a natural bodybuilder, you need to remind the body, and maybe you remind it with higher reps or medium reps or lower reps, you know? But I've found that reminding the body more often seems to work better than just training 1 time and then, you know, not doing anything for 6 days, right? So Danny M is asking me what my take on Smith machine bench presses. Now the funny thing is, I've never really done them. I probably have tried them once or twice, but I've always stuck to barbell bench. But the thing is that Smith machine bench press might actually offer quite a good option for chest development. And what I mean by this is that there may be some alleviation of the stress on the rotator cuff, so that way you are able to fire the pec without actually focusing on balancing, right? So there may be some extra gains to be had from the Smith machine, and I would be using the Smith machine on and off in my chest workouts if we had a decent one in my gym. It's just that my gym has such a crappy one that it's just too much friction and stuff, so it doesn't work. If you're going to use the Smith machine, you want to make sure that it has a nice smooth action, right? There's no friction, you know, that is basically keeping the weight from eccentrically falling down on you. It should be totally smooth, so you can't even tell it's on some sort of rails, okay? So the thing is that if it's a good Smith machine, then I think it could be really good and valuable for actually growing chest muscles, you know, for increasing the pec size. So Zombie Hell Monkey is asking me about natural supplements to increase testosterone, all this kind of stuff. You know what I found, and this is the thing, it seems contradictory, but I don't find that there's a magic pill out there, you know, not in the natural bodybuilding world anyway, to increase testosterone stuff. There are lots of trends, there are lots of things like that out there because people want to make money and profit and all this. Now, are there certain supplements that may assist with your own production, like tribulus and all this? Yeah, maybe. But what I found, the most anabolic thing you can do to increase testosterone or to help your hormones and stuff is to eat what you need to eat and sleep when you need to sleep, right? And train the overall body, like the lower back and the legs and stuff, and make sure you're putting real weight on the skeletal muscular system, you know, so that way you're stimulating your body, okay? But a lot of times people will look for, oh, I have this low testosterone thing, but then they eat garbage all the time, or they don't sleep, or they're constantly inconsistent in their training, right? Or they just try to do like little really light workouts and stuff, and then they say, oh, it must be my testosterone level. And in some cases this might be true, but I've found mostly it's just a matter of discipline. And once you discipline yourself with diet and eating for energy for the gym, like you'll notice when you eat certain foods, you just feel like garbage, right? Like I have a video I haven't even posted yet, but I actually ate this pizza, right? Because I was on my cheat day and I ate this pizza. I felt really good eating the pizza, but when I went to the gym, I was sucking wind, right? So how you eat will make a difference in how you feel in the gym, and it will make a difference in how you recover from the gym. And over time, this becomes an exponential sort of effect, okay? So a lot of people have crappy lifestyle choices over and over again. They're not eating enough protein, they're not eating enough food, and then they say, oh, my testosterone must be lower. No, it's not necessarily that. It's just that your eating is bad, or your sleep is bad, or your lifestyle choices are bad, like maybe you're drinking and smoking and doing drugs, or whatever it is you might be doing. And this stuff is actually going to kill your gains faster than anything, okay? So rather than focusing on testosterone, focus on changing your diet, changing your lifestyle choices, and see how that affects your testosterone. And I think that you'll probably get more results looking at that. So Photonicus is asking for strip sets. He's saying, or she's saying, that is 50% normal rate to strip the weight down. So say I'm doing benches with 225, then to go down to 110 pounds or something like that for my strip set. And I would say, yeah, that's pretty much standard. Usually with the first set, you do whatever weight you're doing, like maybe you can get 10 reps or whatever, or 8 reps, and then you strip down about 50%. And then after that, you might not have to strip down as much weight, but 50% is pretty much standard in strip sets. So Jordan is asking, why am I always flexing on Wayne? Well, the thing is, Wayne and Glenn and Nihan and a few guys in the gym, these guys have kind of agreed to just joke around and be in front of the camera, and they kind of enjoy it. So we have this running joke that goes on all the time. So whether the camera's running or whether it's not, we're always bugging each other or playing around. And I like having them in the videos because I think it makes the videos more entertaining, and usually it's a good conversation piece. So when I go to the gym and say Wayne sees himself in the video or Glenn sees himself in the video, we have something to kind of laugh about when we go to the gym. So it's kind of been an ongoing sort of thing. It's kind of a way that we're all entertaining ourselves. So it might look mean sometimes when I'm playing around, but actually we're just joking around and stuff. I actually really love these guys. They're pretty good and stuff. So we have a good time. So it's just an excuse to laugh, honestly. So thanks a lot for tuning in to the Friday Q&A. And if you have any more questions, make sure you put them in the comments down below. And remember, check out my website, naturalglantbodybuilding.com, if you need to. I have a lot of my videos there and workout programs and music and all this kind of stuff. And I'll see you soon.